Well, that's a terrific question. Why is President Trump denying that Russia is behind this? As someone has said today, a member of Congress, President Trump has always had a blind spot for Russia. He's, in a tweet, he says that, this might be China. But that goes directly against everything else we know and the Intelligence Committee knows. I mean, this has been the most breathtaking cyber attack in US history for its scope, its scale, for the new techniques it's involved, and for its longevity. Whoever did this, and everyone says it's the Russians, they did this back in March. So it's been sitting in US systems since then. Some people are calling this a modern Pearl Harbor. Some people are calling this a Russian invasion. One person, an expert, said it's actually, rather than a shock attack, it's more like someone coming in and walking around inside your house without you knowing for 6 months. And we know that the State Department's been affected, Treasury Department's been affected, Department of Homeland Security, Energy, the NNSA, which takes care of the nuclear stockpile, and the National Institute for Health. Now, even the Secretary of State says we can say very clearly it is Russia, but President Trump keeps saying it's China. The real question is, what will or should be the response? President-elect Biden says that it's not enough to just have good cyber defense. You need cyber offense to deter, to disrupt, and to impose substantial costs on anyone who thinks about doing this again.
Well, that's a good question. Given the sheer scope of it, what sort of a problem does Russia face, or Joe Biden face, in terms of Russia? Is this a reminder of the issues?
Oh, very much so. I mean, this puts Russia front and centre. Now, look, here in America, the broad consensus of all the experts, of the intelligence community, is that China is the #1 superpower threat to US interests. But Russia is right up there too. And Russia has been meddling in affairs from Africa to Central America to Central Asia to South Asia, everywhere. And if nothing else, this serves as a grim reminder of the Russian threat that President-elect Biden is going to have to start confronting as of January 20. Because remember, a lot of people here think that the Trump administration has been giving Russia a free pass.
Absolutely. It's been interesting to see that relationship. Just finally, I want to ask you about the vaccine, because we know now Moderna has become the second to get US authorisation after we saw the first get approval in the last few weeks. How quickly, Michael, will US authorities be hoping this gets rolled out, particularly given the worsening situation?
Well, what we're being told is that there's still one final bureaucratic hurdle with the CDC that has to be overcome, but everyone expects that to happen today. So the trucks are literally rolling, as we're informed, while we speak. And perhaps the first inoculations may start as soon as tomorrow, Monday morning, here in America. And this, as you say, is the second vaccine that's coming online for Americans. One of the key differences between this and the Pfizer vaccine is that the Moderna vaccine, whilst it still requires 2 shots, it doesn't have to be stored at the Antarctic winter temperatures that the Pfizer vaccine needs. So while Pfizer needs to be at something like -80 degrees Celsius, this one only needs to be at something like -20 degrees Celsius. But I can tell you, it can't come soon enough. 885,000 Americans applied for new unemployment benefits last week. There's 20 million plus Americans currently on unemployment. And I can tell you, here in California, there are 0 intensive care unit beds available, and the state has requested 5,000 extra body bags.